Thank you so much for joining us on News Today. One person has been shot, and this comes on the back of disturbances by some angry youth of Ejura who are protesting the killing of a member of the Fix the Country campaign. The police has, however, arrested 2 suspects in connection with the killing of Ibrahim Mohammed. Joy News' Nuruddin Mohammed is on the hospital where persons who sustained gunshots are receiving treatment. We'll be touching base with him shortly to find out the condition these people are in. But currently you can see live visuals there from Ejura. So these are visuals that were brought to you earlier, I beg your pardon, of what happened in the Ejura community a while ago as the youth protested the killing of Ibrahim Mohammed. On yesterday, there was an earlier protest which the MP for the area believes to have been the trigger for the arrest of the 2 suspects. We've gotten Mohammed Nuruddin, who is currently at the hospital, following up on persons who were shot as a result of the protest earlier today. He joins us with more. Hello, Nuruddin. What's the latest? It appears that we've lost to Nuruddin there, but we will touch base with him definitely on this story that's currently happening or unfolding in the Ejura-Dumasi constituency, and we'll bring you more on that and also hear from the family of Ibrahim.
My name is Fatih Ibrahim. I am a sister to the deceased. I'm also a nurse at Eninua Medical Center. To tell you the truth, I don't know how to express the way I feel. It is a very big blow to me. I can't just, words cannot express or explain how I feel. God. There is nothing, there is no better punishment than what God will give them. Even if I have to see him, whoever did that before me, the best punishment probably I had to give him was to take his life, just as he took my brother's life. But I cannot do that, so I will leave him with God. One day, God will judge all of us. And nothing can replace what he did, whoever it is, nothing. No matter what, whether he is in prison, it will not bring my brother back. He has family. He has case. When we see him with his case, they eat together. Now the kids are in the house waiting for their father. How? What else? What did he do wrong?
Out. Because the people who did that to him are people within who have been sent to do that to him. We know it. And for us, what we would take is that we are Muslims and we know per our religion is God who gives and he is the one who takes. But whatever punishment is it for those people who committed this act, we know that definitely if they don't meet it here, they will meet it somewhere.
So those are some relatives of the late Ibrahim Mohammed. Let's head to Ejura now, where my colleague Mohammed Nuruddin is standing by with the latest. Hello, Mohammed. What's the update on those who were shot as a result of the ongoing protest? Hello, Nuruddin. Unfortunately, we lost him again. There appears to be a problem with connectivity there, but we will try to raise him again and bring you details on that. But this was earlier before now, where you can see some soldiers and a police vehicle there. And this is in reaction to protests by some youth of the community. You can see some water on the streets. And Erastus Osare Donko was reporting on this particular incident. And we're told that some persons have been shot as a result of this confrontation. You can see the youth were charging in the background. Thankfully, we've been able to raise Nuruddin. Hope he stays on the line now. Hello, Nuruddin. What's the latest? Hello? Hello, Nuruddin, if you can hear me, what's the latest, especially with regards to those who were shot?
Hello, Benis. I'm at the Ejura Government Hospital now. There are a lot of women here and some other youth. It's quite difficult to get the confirmation about the death of 2 people, and then 2 people too have been injured. We are trying to get a confirmation from the health workers here, but it's been very difficult because of the crowd. 2 women have also collapsed. They've been carried into the hospital. So we are trying to get a confirmation of the death. But what we are hearing is that 2 people have been shot by the military, but we try to get a confirmation about that.
Nuruddin, and these 2 women who collapsed, were they part of the protesters? How exactly did that happen?
It is because they've heard the news of the demise of the 2 guys, those that we are yet to confirm. I think it's because of that they collapsed. Most of them are here crying, wailing. In fact, they are not about the issue here, the incident here, and they are asking themselves, when will they have peace in Ejura? So we will get all the information after we've been able to meet the doctor here to confirm the death of the 2 people and some other extra information that we'll get from him. All
right, Nuruddin, so for persons who are just joining us, can you describe what led to the shooting?
Well, that is, if you can come, I mean, I didn't hear that, please.
I was asking, we can see in our shots slippers, and earlier there were visuals of somebody being carried. I'm saying that for those who just joined us on television, what exactly led to the shooting?
Well, you know, earlier when we spoke in the morning, we told you that the youth were very angry because this is not the first time one of them have been attacked. They gave instances of some of their members who were attacked some few months ago. And so they think that if they allow this to go without, I mean, there's some questions being answered, it will continue in future. So they went and buried their brother, and they came onto the street to protest and seek justice for their colleagues. So they were there protesting, marching towards the police station when the military came and started shooting warning shots. And so we actually, I think it's because one of the bullets actually got the 2 guys. We are unable to tell how that incident happened, but that is what we are gathering from the ground.
All right, so this is not a case of the police unable to handle the crowd and they called for reinforcement from the military. Right away, the military was on the scene to deal with the problem. Is that it?
So what happened was that I was in front of the protesters.
Okay.
I was in front of them, and all of a sudden I saw the armed military personnel in their vehicle coming towards us. So I had to reposition myself somewhere. And so I was observing. So at the moment they got there, the guys who were coming. And so they started shooting warning shots. I think that's how. So the guys who got angry, and they were throwing stones. Because they think that for them, this is the right time for them to protest and then get things right before another incident would occur in future.
We'll leave it here for now. That's Mohammed Nuruddin joining us from the Ashanti region town of Ejura, where a protest has led to the shooting of some youth in the area. We will bring you details definitely on this particular story, which is still unfolding. But let me bring you what the police had to say with regards to some 2 persons who have been arrested in connection with the attack that led to the killing of Ibrahim Mohammed.
This morning, I would like to inform the general public that the regional command has arrested 2 suspects in the attack and murder of Ibrahim Mohammed alias Kaka, age 45 and resident of Dagoba Line, a suburb of Ejura in the Ashanti region. The suspects are Ibrahim Isaka alias Anyas and Fuseni Al-Hassan, currently in custody. Both were arrested at about 10:45 p.m. on Monday, that is yesterday, 28 June 2021, following police intelligence. Witness accounts show that the deceased was ambushed in front of his house when He was returning home on his motorbike at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, 27th June 2021. He was rushed to the Jura Government Hospital and was later referred to the Komfo Teaching Hospital, where he died at midday, 28 June 2021. Police investigation will also extend to rumors that the deceased was a journalist and a member of the Face the Country movement to ascertain if the murder was linked to his work or the movement. Police appeals to anyone who has any relevant information to share with the police on mobile phone number 0299 207770. Such persons may also report to the nearest police station or the police emergency numbers 191 18555 and 112, or WhatsApp the police on this number 020 6639 121.
Let's now hear from the MP for Ejura Seche-Dumase, Mohammed Bawal Brahima, who's been reacting to the incident. I spoke to him earlier on News Desk.
Even yesterday in the morning, I spoke with the family who are also even in need. At that time that the victim was at the hospital, they needed some money. I had to transfer some money to them for the upkeep of the victim, only for us to lose him in the afternoon of yesterday. It's so unfortunate that this gentleman, who's also Mohammed Ibrahim, who's also known as Kaka, he's an MPP person. He's somebody who brings out the developmental challenges of the municipality or the constituency to the fore for redress. And some people, people who are believed to be the bodyguards of the municipality executive who's seeking renomination, just that his activity was a threat to the renomination bid of MCE, and so they were calling him severally and threatening him to stop what he was doing. There were some voices that we later on heard.
Okay.
And it will interest people to know that even last week, that was precisely on the 15th of June, he was arrested by the Municipal Police Command for what offense, we don't know. He was even issued with a
warning letter. Yes, I was going to come to that because...
yes. So we asked him, what was his offense that he had to be arrested and issued with a warning letter? And
okay.
who is the complainant in that case in question? So later on, when he came that he had been assaulted, and the people who assaulted him are the same people, my sister, the same people. They have turned themselves into attack dogs. Anytime that you say something against this president's regime, they come hunting you. Myself, I was a victim of their brutality last year, July. I nearly lost my life. I reported the issue to the police, up to the divisional command. Nothing was done to them. None of them was arrested, but I was hit at my back. And I said, nothing was done to them. This time around, they have gone to the it is something they've been doing last year. Even some substance supervisors, they attacked them, and they have gone the extra mile of killing someone just because of pointing out the illness of society or whatever is going on. But let me say, nobody forced anybody to take up political office. You offer yourself for nomination, the president nominates you to be a municipal executive. You offer yourself for election, and the election elects you to become a member of parliament. So if the people that you are leading see that things are not going on in the society and they are pointing out, the government should tell out that at least your supporters or those who support you should turn around and be attacking people. It's very unfortunate it has happened this way, but I'm happy that now that the issue has taken the national dimension. Let me also note that when the incident happened this Saturday, after yesterday that the victim died, no arrest has been made, even though the police have leave.
Let's bring you more on this particular story, especially on Ibrahim Mohammed, who has been identified as a member of the Fix the Country campaign. And let's take you to his Facebook page. And There you have it. Okay, so his last post was made on the 17th of June.
Munipa friend kaka and the Ancasano amount for the frame and I say, you know, I always say frame macho no a macho baki full name no a macho baki you know, as chireni say, I'm no macho nipa ibia uhunu nipa kiti and so I say the anon kwan na ekundia metumi kumbi and akweze samri die ya no ne yede ko ntina ma mesumanya hondi bia mesumitimi di kasabi kenya sa ka mene hwan na macho a wo hu se ya twura na asa bibisa no macho no full name ne macho mbaki asikire ne se macho anu macho asikire no na be di sen ka meka se we di ya memre because amre emra yede ya no na eko yede ya no na ekasa na misi o se yede na no na eko samre di a e wo se mesumi ma medin no eye na dwuma nti na mesuma sori a mesumi kikabi ana me ka ne wo ho na de wo ho ne se ana ase de meti ye ne se ensenya ye se yakun police bi na nipa o mo gade ye ana ase o mo hwe ye so ana o mo boy ho ban na yekuno na wo a wo ye ordinary person se me se no na o de na kire se wo ye save sumahu nti aban hwe na boa police fo no no ma o mu hia a be bo o mo ho ban no na o de ama o mo se de be ya o mo so be boy ho ban disana tie.
So that's Ibrahim Mohammed who lost his life yesterday after being attacked on Saturday. On his Facebook page, basically saying that his name Macho on his Facebook page is not for physical strength, but basically describes that he's a vocal person. He was basically commenting on the killing of a police officer and asked that if the police is being attacked, what can the ordinary citizen do? And is calling on government to do something about it. But let's head back to Ejura. Erastus Asaridonko joins us with the latest. Hello, Erastus. You have some developing news for us. What exactly is it?
Okay. Well, at the moment, we are at the Ejura Government Hospital, and you could see the crowd here, some of them wailing, and this is because all the injured have been brought here, and so far we can confirm the death of 2 people, and multiple injuries. We are recording about 6.
Microphone and bring you the latest on that. But the latest update on this situation is that 2 people have been confirmed dead, and well, I understand we have Erastus back now for more.
Well, I hope you can hear me now. Well, we are currently at the Ejura Government Hospital. Behind me, a number of people have besieged here, families who are trying to get information as to the status of their relatives. We do understand per confirmation that 2 people have been confirmed dead. Multiple people with multiple injuries. We can count over 6 of them at the moment currently receiving treatment at the hospital, some in critical condition. So 2 dead, 6 people on admission. More people are being brought in here. But I'm going to speak with the Konti Hene of Ejura. He was at the scene where the people were shot. He has been looking at the blood scenes and the people who have been injured. Let me find out quickly from him. So you have been to the various scenes. What can you tell us at this moment, Nana?
Very chaotic. Very, very. It's most unfortunate. They are trying to avenge the death of one of their own. Now we have multiple injuries and deaths. Just from the hospital, I witnessed 2 people dead and about 6, 8 or 9 people seriously injured.
How do you feel at the moment?
Very, very sad. Very, very sad. I'm on my way to the palace. You know, Ejrahene Barriman Osehwidia is also in a serious meeting with the powers that be so that we can find lasting solution to this problem. Once is there, I'm going to brief them as to what is on the ground. He's waiting for me and I'm going there right now.
Can you repeat this for me? So you've been to the hospital. Let me know exactly. There are many conflicting accounts of how many people are dead. How many people can you confirm dead at the moment?
My brother, from the medical superintendent, 2 people are dead. I saw 6 people injured, but as I was leaving, Motokin also brought about 3 people also injured. So we have about 9 people seriously injured now. But
what is the nature of their injuries?
I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't comment, but to them, it's very fatal. Fatal, you know, live bullet is dangerous.
Was this what Nananom were expecting today?
Not at all. Not at all, because from yesterday, we've been fighting this thing not to happen. You know, the moment we heard that the guy, Kaka, was dead, we realized there wasn't going to be peace. So we started talking to the various factions. And from yesterday, around 2 p.m., we've been talking, calming them down. It is not easy, but we've tried our best. Now, this morning, Ejrahene has spoken with a sizable number of the people, including the Zongo chief and most of the elders. And they assured us that calm was going to remain. But we don't know what happened. All of a sudden, we heard that there was confrontation between the youth and then the peacemakers. And I had to rush to the scene. I went there and pool of blood. So I had to follow up to the hospital, and lo and behold, 2 dead, about 6 or 8 or 9 people also injured. I'm very sad.
Who brought the military in?
Obviously, it is music. Music, because of the escalation of the problem yesterday, they had to bring in the military to support. They came for peace, not to fight anybody. They came for peace. But
are you surprised that they fired into the crowd?
I'm very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. As I was heading towards the scene, I saw the police, the water cannon, spreading water. So I thought that was enough to scare them, to get them off. But just as I went past them, most of the people came running towards me. And they told me that about 4 people had been shot. So I said, then let me go with you to see what is happening there. Lo and behold, went there and full of blood. So I had to follow up to this place, and that is why I'm here.
What is going to happen next? What are Nananom going to do?
I have requested the various leaders, youth leaders, the Zongo chiefs and other leaders to meet me at the palace. Ejrahene is waiting for them. He will finish with the meeting with the powers that be soon, and then we also go into the dialogue with them. We have to dialogue with the youth and those people too. And then certainly Ejrahene is going back to Accra today to see how best he can get the government to support us, get peace immediately.
What would you say to the people at this moment to maintain peace?
I'm appealing to my brothers, to all Ejra citizens, to calm down. We are not in a war. We just want justice for our brother who died. But out of that, we are escalating things, and it is turning into a horrific thing. So I will tell them to calm down. We don't want to fight the military. We don't want to fight the security agencies. We want justice for the dead, and that is what we are seeking for. So government should come to our aid and support us. Find justice in Ejra.
We are grateful.
Thank you so much.
So that is the Kontihene of Ejra, and he's been speaking to us after visiting the injured at the hospital. Well, currently we have quite a sizable number of people here because many of them are trying to find out the condition and status of their people. I understand they are bringing in more people who have gunshot wounds. Let me speak with this woman who has been here.
Me pacho mi nua be ma na omudi ka ko fie koku no. Enti me so me ti se etu aka wo mo no. E na me di mirika e ba hospital be hwe eye no kre me wura ho na nipa 4 e na gu ho no.
Etu nua ne kaka.
Me pacho mi nua ne kaka.
Say na wo feel say no win say.
Say ba bia me gina metimi atu ahwe awu. Ba bia condition no wo no. De me hu ye no. Metimi ahwe ho awu. Efi say soldier fo na omo ye adwuma no. Enya sa na soldier eye adwuma. Nya soldier adwuma na omo ye no. Wo ye soldier ni no. Esese wutustuo ekosoro entom hwe fem. Obi ya nkura tuo. Omo kura aba na omo ye demonstration. Ohene kasa kire omo tie omo kosie ba obi a ebe ha no. Efi sese de omo si hu ye no. Eye wo omo ya. Obia ne dihye ohwere ne dihye sakaka ebe ya ne ya ena dihye ya hwere wo mo mienu so aka ho yidie.
So this is the sister to the man whose death triggered all this protest, and she says she's very sad at the moment. She can collapse in a moment because she's been there. What he has seen, the death of the people because of her brother's death, is so much a burden for her to carry. And she is speaking about the military intervention. He thinks that's not the way the military should work. The military has compounded their problem for them. So quite a number of people like her have gathered in here. Some of them, they have their relatives dying. Some have their relatives injured and have been brought here. This gentleman is one of the people who is bereaved at the moment. Her brother has been shot. And is your brother alive at the moment?
No, he's not alive as of now. My brother is dead. The doctor, I went to him. Even right now, I entered there. I asked him, he said he's dead. He confirmed. There are 4 people. 2 has dead right now.
What's the name of your brother?
Nasiru Yusuf.
How old is he?
He's about 22, 23 years.
How do you feel at the moment?
I feel very bad, very sad. I'm not in good condition as of now. What pains me a lot is that if the MCE send those military people to come and kill people here, we are ready to also die.
Well, definitely violence is not the answer, but this is anger being expressed by the people who have currently lost their people at the moment.
Let us be honest. Let's be fair and sincere that if they even send military people, if there is violence, are they quenching the violence or they are putting fire under? This is my question. I went to military training before. I went to a prison guide training before I came to GS.
Well, thank you very much, but we are sorry for your loss. But he is speaking out of emotions and anger because he just...
I'm not anger to anybody. I'm in my conscience. If you say I'm speaking with hunger, meaning I don't know what I'm confused.
I'm just expressing the way you feel, the pain that you feel. That is what I'm expressing. But
yes. If something choke this your eye, do you think there's something will come out here? It will come. And this is what I want.
Please. Well, so emotions are rising. Yeah.
If Nanadu wants people of Ejura to know that what is not him Nanadu's fault, he should quickly change the MCE. He should quickly change the MCE. It was the MCE who made Nanadu to lose in Ejura. And I don't think MPP will win in Ejura before because of this MCE. His heart and the mind and the brains are corrupt.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
So that's Erastus there, clearly very angry people in Ejura there. But let's speak to the MP for the area. I spoke to him around 10 o'clock and we spoke about the security situation and he sounded very confident because of the presence of the police and the military. Hello, Mr. Mohammed Bawar Brahima, thank you for joining us once again. I mean, clearly, this is not what you anticipated. Tell us how this news came to you. Hello? Now, unfortunately, we lost the MP for Ejura Secha Dumasi, Mohammed Bawar Brahima there, but we'll try and work the lines and raise him again. But those are live visuals you're seeing from Ejura. We are being told now that 2 people have died as a result of protests earlier today. Well, I'm told we have Mohammed Bawar Brahima back on the line. Thank you for joining us, sir. I was making reference to our earlier conversation about 2 hours ago, and we spoke about the security situation. Clearly not what you anticipated.
Benis, I'm devastated because reports reaching me from the constituency look very bad. There's soldiers who have been sent there to go and keep the peace. I'd rather you rehabilitate the situation because as professional soldiers or security men, I think we have a way of turning demonstrations and not firing live bullets into the crowd. I'm completely devastated, and in fact, the security, whoever is leading the street team in the grass, we call them to order. That's how we quell this kind of demonstration. Somebody has died out of insanity. So definitely, if the youth go to Bali and they are coming back, they'll be disturbed. They'll be disturbed, and that doesn't mean that if you're going to stop them, you should just go straight.
All right, Mr. Bawar Brahima, I'm sorry I had to cut in. It's not too clear what you're saying. The line is a bit dodgy. I would appreciate it if you could kindly reposition yourself so we can hear you clearly.
I am saying that with the way the military handled the situation, they did not handle the situation professionally. And whoever is in charge of the soldiers at Ejura should call them to order. They should call them to order as to how they manage to quell the demonstrations. Because I mean, we don't fire live bullets into the crowd. There's a situation at hand. You don't go to create another situation to add up. We are grappling with the death of Kaka. Why go right now as we are speaking? About 2 people have died, and then several others are serious degrees of injury. This is uncalled for. I condemn the act of the military. They should act professionally. We beg them. And then, much as I'm also talking to the military, I would like to urge the youth that at least everybody should exercise restraint. And then once the culprits, some people have been arrested, and leave the rest to the law enforcement agencies to handle. I plead with everybody in the draft, everybody in the draft to exercise restraint. All the leaders, the traditional leaders, the Muslim, the churches, everybody should come out and plead with the youth. Everybody should retire to their various homes and ensure that at least there's peace in the draft. Otherwise, we are going to add up the already bad situation that we are facing.
Have you been called by any of the local authorities, especially on this matter?
Yes,
have your views been sought?
I just received a call from the coach, and I've also called some of the youth leaders that I know in town. I've spoken with them that they should keep calm. I am also in touch. We just spoke with the Minister for National Security to call the soldiers in Ejura to order to handle the situation professionally. At least you just don't go to such demonstrations. I think these are not violent people. They were just coming from the cemetery. Actually, devastated by the state of the victim that they have gone to bury. They'll be annoyed. So I don't think they will carry any major offensive weapons to demand that life bullets are shot at them. So I'm pleading with whoever is in charge of the security agencies in Ejura to manage the situation well. They should act professionally, please.
Thank you very much for your time. Barbara Imam Mohammed is MP for Idra Setra Dumasi. Let's head back to Idra. You can see on your screens there some shots from the hospital. Erastus Asare-Donkor is still there for us. Hello, Erastus. A very crowded hospital room there. Tell us exactly what's happening.
Well, so Ben is currently, we can confirm we are inside the treatment center of the Idra Government Hospital. You can see in your shot there the number of injured people being attended to. The place looks crowded at the moment with some lying on the ground and being attended to. 2 people who have been confirmed dead. One is lying in front of me now. The other is on a stretcher just behind me. The medical superintendent is here. Let me try to get a word from him. Sir, what can you tell us about the injured at the moment?
The injured cases, actively managing them.
Can confirm the 2 dead?
Yeah, we've confirmed already. One was brought in dead. The other one died within 10 minutes after arrival, after active resuscitation. Because where the bullet hit was so much that there's no way to hit the chest directly. And there is bleeding into the chest. That is hemothorax. Following the other one that was there before brought in. So, but
what about the injured? Can you tell us about the injuries?
Yeah, the injuries are what I mean, that the thigh, the right thigh got fractured. In addition to maybe the lower tibia and fibula, that the right legs, they all got fractured. You can see a lot of swelling there. That is a lot of hematoma collection, losing a lot of blood, sweating profusely. You're also entering into shock. But we are actively managing. With blood transfusion, we hope it should be, stable for further management, possibly. If it's better.
Would you say that all these injuries are linked to shooting?
Oh, they are gunshot injuries. They are gunshot injuries. That's it.
Currently, what is your challenge in managing?
Challenge, you can see the room is all crowded. And in addition to in shock, they collapsed because they heard their children were shot and others died. So we are taking them. A lot of shock cases. We have to manage them well. If not, they can also pass.
We know that 2 are dead. How many injured on admission at the moment?
4 of them are on admission currently, severely injured. But 2 are dead, as already said. My name is Dr. Mensa Manye, Medical Superintendent, Idra Government Hospital.
Thank you very much. From the Medical Superintendent for the Idra Government Hospital, I must say the room is so congested that the nurses and doctors are finding it very difficult to attend to the injured at this particular moment. There are a number of people who are also crammed outside trying to get information on the condition of their relatives. So it's a critical state here, very congested, people in critical condition. They need room, they need air, and there's no security available to keep the crowd at bay for the doctors to be able to do their job at the moment. So that's the condition at the Idra Government Hospital, where 2 dead, 2 confirmed dead from the shooting by the military, 4 are on admission in critical condition, and there is a milling crowd here preventing doctors to really discharge their duties. Bernice.
Been hearing from the medical superintendent of that hospital, talking about the critical condition in which some of those on admission are. We've got our eyes on the ground. We understand that there's currently a meeting ongoing at the Chief's Palace to ensure that peace is restored in that community. earlier you heard some youth who were really charged and upset about the development. Some of them who are calling for the president to sack the MCE. But Erastus is just stepping out of the hospital there. You can still see a lot of people gathered there. Hello, Erastus. What more do you have to share with us?
Tradition, they will want to get access to the bodies to bury them. And that is what they are trying to do. They are trying to push a stretcher into the hospital at the moment to try to get the bodies to bury. But you can see the wailing crowd, people who have lost their relatives. There is so much sadness and anger and emotions running high here at Ejura. What started as a protest against the murder of a social media activist in town, in the death of 2 more people, 4 currently in the Ashanti. And they laid the blame squarely on the chief. The whole confusion. And as the interviews we had early on, many of them are expecting to take immediate action to remove him before the escalates. So in your shot now, some of the relatives wailing, shedding tears for those who have lost their lives. And already the people are threatening to continue with the protest, to even escalate it further. And that's what they're saying in the background. Many of them are Muslims who will want to get the bodies and bury today as immediately as possible, they say. And the Ejura Government Hospital will need some security to be able to push aside and to make for the doctors to be able to attend. Need immediate ambulance service. There is confusion at the entrance as some of the youth will want to go in with a stretcher and carry the bodies out for burial. But I'm told by the authorities that it will need to be exhaustively done before they can be given out. But not here to the youth are not taking kindly to that.
Take the body, then they are asking them to pay some amount. That is why they are making the noise once again, because they don't understand why they should pay that money. Because they are all aware that it was a killing from the soldiers. It's not any accident case, and then the man was, the daughter will say, maybe he doesn't understand. Maybe he wants to do some post-mortem. So the youths are saying that no.
How much are they supposed to pay?
As I know myself, I don't know. I don't know the amount they ask them to pay, and then there's that noise.
So the youth are not ready to pay that particular amount to get the body out, and that is not. So that is what is causing the confusion at the moment. And I think finally they are taking the stretcher out. But certainly the stretcher has been called in. And so they will the seriously congested where the people are being treated to pick the body. And certainly emotions are running high here. A mixture of emotions and uncertainty on the faces of the young people who have gathered here in their numbers over the shooting of two of their colleagues in the morning. It started as a peaceful demonstration when we got here, but you could feel the anger in their voices in the morning. They were holding sticks, machetes and knives. They attacked the NPP makeshift office here at Ajura and destroyed it, pulled it down, and then headed towards the police. And so currently a lot of anger in here. But let me say this is what the security agencies will do to quell further disturbances here at Ajura. But certainly anger, sadness, emotions are running high. Over to you in the studios.
Chair Erastus Asare Donko, they're still at the Ajura Government Hospital where a lot of youth have gathered. We understand some want the bodies of those who died as a result of the protest earlier today. But we've been joined by the MCE for the area, Mohammed Salisu Bamba. If you've been listening to this conversation, you would have heard a lot of people pointing to the MCE over this matter. Thank you for your time here, sir. Good afternoon to you. The first question I'd like to ask, who involved the military in this whole matter?
I can hardly hear you, please.
I'm asking, the presence of the military at Ajura, was that ordered by you?
Hello?
Hello? Hello, Mr. Bamba, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. The military involved in this protest, we understand they came in yesterday after the youth poured out onto the streets. And I'm asking, did the military come into the community on the orders of MUSEC or of you as MCE?
Thank you very much. I'm very much aware that we've all been following the development in Ajura since Saturday. And yesterday, unfortunately, our brother Kaka passed on. So we know that by today, if he's going to be buried, there is likelihood that the youth will rise up. So we called for police reinforcement yesterday. So they came and actually slept in Ajura. And this morning they were assisting with the security situation in Ajura. And I've been in touch with the police commander on this issue.
Okay.
MUSEC, we didn't meet to discuss what we were discussing on phone because of the security situation. The security officers needs to be on the ground 24/7 to monitor development so that the chaotic situation we are witnessing now, we're trying to avoid it. So
when you say
when
you say we, who exactly are you referring to?
I mean the security MUSEC members.
Okay, and it was the MUSEC's decision to involve the military? Because you mentioned earlier that you called for police reinforcement. So exactly. I want to know whose decision it was to involve the military.
Actually, I informed Commander to tell his divisional commander to communicate with the region to assist us with reinforcement. As to whether the divisional or the regional commander asked the military to come or not, I wouldn't be able to say it now exactly. But what we need at that material moment was security presence to support the operation on the ground. But yesterday we had discussion that region should be informed for them to help us with reinforcement. So I cannot say now whether it is the reinforcement that divisional commander called for, that is what brought the military or not. That one I wouldn't be able to confirm right now. But I will confer with them and then get that fact as well.
I want to believe you've received briefing about what happened earlier. What have you been told by the men on the ground?
You see, when situations like this happen, normally the police will do a lot of investigation. And it wouldn't help matters when we begin to bring out all
I'm not talking about, sorry, sir, but I'm not talking about investigations. I'm talking about the protest, the shooting, which has led to 2 more deaths. What have you been briefed?
What I was told is that the youth were demonstrating. They were moving from one area to another. At a point, they were throwing stones at the police vehicle and the military. So when they got to some area, the youth were rounded up the security men in the middle. So the security men decided to fire a warning shot. Actually, that is what I've been told so far. And currently, everybody is busily looking at how best they can, the health workers can take care of those who are seriously injured. And the families of those who are, the 2 guys who are also dead, are also somehow very angry. So we are looking at how to calm that situation first.
Okay.
After that, we look at what led to what happened and actually the other security issues that we need to brief the public.
We just, I'll come back to you shortly, sir, but we just saw in our shots one of the bodies being released. Erastus Asare Donkor will give us a briefing, but I'm handing over to my colleague Kojo Yankson, who will take it over from here. But please hold on, sir, don't go away yet. Hello, Erastus.
No, listen. The whole thing is live. It's live. As you are speaking now, it's live.
Live, right?
Yes.
No. See, we are working like that.
It was the youth who said it.
That's
the youth.
The news. And the helpline, go and see.
He came on the highline, demand for money before releasing the cops. But the youth will not put it for you. You did it. But when you came, you spoke to Nana.
Why did you do that?
Don't mind it.
No, we are coming. We want to talk. No, what is your problem?
No, my problem is that you carry a lie.
I brought them. Allow them. No. You didn't say they shouldn't take it. I brought them.
What your problem is?
Please. It's a live program. Now,
the program doesn't matter.
The caption is the caption is a drug hospital demanding money before releasing the money.
And I'm saying that it was the youth who said it.
No. So it wasn't like the youth said it.
Listen to me. It's a live program.
Erastus, trust you're well. We'll have to leave it here for you to deal with the situation, but please stay safe. I've been joined by Kojo Yangson, one of my colleagues. The MCE is still on the line, and we've got a lot more questions for him, Kojo, especially on the involvement of the military. We heard from a relative of Kaka who complained about the manner in which this protest was handled, especially by the military, and we'll be delving deeper into that. But I'll hand over to you now for you to continue with this conversation.
Thank you, Bernice Abubedu Lanza there. Now, it's important for us to state that we are still attempting to unravel all the decision-making processes that has led to the current situation in Ejura Sechere Dumase, where riots that had started over 24 hours ago have taken another turn as the military are reported to have fired into the crowd. 2 people are now dead from gunshot wounds, according to the hospital, and we are learning more and more with every passing minute. Mr. Salisu Bamba happens to be the municipal chief executive for this area. He has been at the center of a lot of the controversy that has brought us to this point. Let's very quickly see if we can re-engage with Mr. Bamba and get some more understanding of the decision-making processes that have led us where we are today. So, Mr. Bamba, I hope you're still with us. Thank you very much for your patience. As matters continue to unfold, I'm wondering, you explained that you and your colleagues on MUSEC asked for police reinforcements. So at what point did you become aware that the military was on the streets of Ejura?
Thank you. This morning, I had a discussion with my commander, and he told me that the military are in Ejura. But as stated earlier, because of the situation that has been that is on the ground with regards to the barrier of Kaka, that was where all our attention is. How to get him peacefully buried and how to make sure that there wouldn't be any problems after the barrier. So discussion with regards to how the military come in and all whatnot, in the course of time, will make all those things available.
Oh, so you were aware that the military was being brought in? Was it the
decision?
Yes,
I was aware in the morning that the military... In short, last night, the military came in. Around 12 midnight, they didn't sleep. They went back to Kumasi. And this morning, I had the information again that the military are in town.
Okay, now, military engaging with civilians is quite a serious matter. Were you okay with this decision? Were you okay with the military coming onto the streets of your municipality?
When it gets to issue of security on how to maintain peace and order in a particular environment, we don't have to be talking as to whether the involvement of military or not military, whether it is okay or not okay. You see, sometimes when we are even overwhelmed, other security agencies like fire, they all come in to assist.
So is that what happened?
Based on the kind of role that they are going to play. It is quite unfortunate that in trying to maintain peace and order, some people have sustained gunshot wounds, and then it led to the death of some 2 gentlemen. It's quite unfortunate. But I said earlier on, if you look at the situation on the ground, what all of us, including you, can help us to do is to calm the situation. And once the situation is calm, then we can interrogate how the military come and then the activities and all what, and we can interrogate it better.
Well, Mr. Bamba, I think part of that is to understand the situation. So you need to help us here. Help us understand, was the police overwhelmed? Is that why the military had to come in?
Actually, as I'm talking to you, the police have also even called for more reinforcements to come. So that looking at the situation that has just happened, it means that security on the ground has to be very, very tight, so that what led to the death of these 2 people, something similar shouldn't happen again in the course of the day. Because I believe in the next few hours, we'll be getting ourselves ready to go and bury these 2 people again. It is quite unfortunate that this thing is happening within the Ejura constituency. I just call for calm, and anybody having information, we help the police with those information to do their work.
Right, Mr. Bamba, so
as I said earlier on, with regards to how the military came in and all whatnot, after all these things, latest by 2-3 hours time, when these gentlemen are buried, we will interrogate those issues deeply.
Now, Mr. Bamba, you are seeking to restore calm in this situation, but this is a situation which started because the people of the community believed that the killing of Kaka had something to do with people who work for you. 2 people have been arrested. Are they people who work for you?
Not exactly. They are not people who work for me.
How do you know them?
I know. There are people that I know and we all know. You see, Ejura is a place that we all know each other. We are deeply interrelated and almost everybody knows the next person. That is the nature of Ejura. And from yesterday morning, what we've been all advocating for is whoever is involved in this thing, the police should pick the person up and then do investigation. Even myself, if you get to a point that I have to submit myself for investigation, I will happily do so. But you see, I don't want a situation whereby we have a polarized situation like what we've been confronted with currently. And then we'll leave it, and then we'll be delving into other issues. You see, most people are speaking, somebody will say, I'm a family member, I'm this, I'm that. We don't want to look at it from that angle at this material moment. Okay. Some are saying the gentleman is from a member of the Fix the Country. Some are saying he's not. You see, at this material moment, I don't want to delve into all those things. But you see, when these dust are settled, there will be enough time to look at all those things, as whether he's a member of the Fix the Country, as whether he's not a member of the Fix the Country, what are his activities. Sorry to say, this is a young man who is going around struggling to survive. Why should he be somebody's target? And what he's doing, I don't see anything bad in it. If you go around expose things that you think is not right, I don't see anything wrong with it. Look, some of the information that were being even peddled since yesterday has to do with the fact that somebody reported him to police, and then the police issued him a warning. And even those things, they were pointing out fingers at certain people. But you see, the police themselves will tell you that exactly 2 weeks today, they arrested the deceased, Kaka. And we tried to find out why is Kaka arrested. They said they are on the street doing their normal job, and Kaka was filming them. So we pleaded that they granted him bail and then issued him a warning. Are you getting the point? So I said there are a lot of issues on the ground, but we shouldn't start to point fingers or polarize the situation, bring political coloration or whatever in it. It will not help the situation at all.
Mr. Bamba,
let's allow the police to do the work that they are doing.
Mr. Bamba, I hope you can hear me. You are indeed the municipal chief executive here. You are a person placed in authority. And so in this situation, what the people need is information. That's what we're trying to get from you. So, Mr. Bamba, the question I was asking, Mr. Bamba, the question I was asking you is, how are you specifically related to the 2 individuals who have been arrested, Mr. Anyas and Mr. Isaka Fusenu? How are you related to these 2 individuals?
Kaka, Anyas, Isaka Fusenu, all of us are related by party. All of us. Kaka is our party member. Are you getting it? Last year, during the elections, he was involved. He comes home regularly to my residence whenever there is party activities. These other 2 gentlemen are equally party and MPP party members. So that is why I'm saying we shouldn't polarize the ground.
So are you aware?
People like us that are political leaders, all our members are somehow related to us by means of party. I don't know if you get it.
I understand. Mr. Bamba, so were you aware of the threats that had been leveled against Mr. Kaka?
I wasn't aware until his demise. In short, I wasn't aware of his activities until his demise. It is after he passed on that they said certain people has issued a threat to him.
So this is someone who used to come to your house. You were aware of him as a party member. He used to come to your house, but you were not aware of the videos that he was doing? You were not aware of his activities?
Not at all. Since we finished elections, I don't follow most of these things. In short, I don't remember the last time I went on Facebook since we finished elections. So I wasn't aware about his activities. But he's somebody I know very well.
So how did you react when Fix the Country and the Economic Fighters League named or pointed fingers at people who work for you as bodyguards and suggested that they are the ones responsible for causing the death of Kaka.
This morning, one of your sister stations actually played a video that Kaka and some people were talking in Hausa for about 5 minutes or more with regards to, it's just like argument. So when they finish, and I asked them, so do they want to tell me all these people are my bodyguards? Is that what they want to tell me? I have one person that whenever I need escort, I rely on the police and they give me one person who everybody knows that is a person that I normally move with. And you know, we are doing party work. Whenever we are going to do party work, we move with a lot of people. I don't know if you understand. So the fact that a person is my party member, and when we are doing party work and we move together, and the person happens to do something against somebody, it's unfortunate. We just try all means possible to link somebody to it. We should allow the police to investigate. It's just unfortunate Kaka is no more. If Kaka were to be around, some of these things we'll get to get the real information about it. And it's also unfortunate that when those people, the alleged people issued threats to Kaka, it was not officially reported. If not, some of these things we wouldn't have been talking about some of these things at this particular moment. But what I'm saying is this: I'm a politician, and you and I know whenever something happens, people try to find means of pointing fingers at certain people.
Okay.
And that is why we have to allow the security agencies to do their work, and definitely the information will come out. So,
Mr. Bamba, you, of course, are the municipal chief executive. You also happen to be the chair of MUSEC. Now, MUSEC obviously has some responsibility for the security services in your area, the police,
exactly,
and who will be conducting the investigation. Do you feel that it is better for you to step aside while that investigation is conducted so that you won't be accused of being in a position to influence the investigation?
One thing we should all know is that when police are investigating matters, they don't bring their investigations to MUSEC. MUSEC, normally when we meet, we talk about general security issues and things that need to be done. But as to how police should go about their investigation and all what not, normally it's not something that we look at. These are professionals that know how to go about their work, how to get information, and all what not. Mr. Jackson, currently you are assessing you've seen the situation in Nigeria, and there are certain things that we shouldn't be discussing now to inflame more passion. I'll plead with you. Let's plead for calm. When all the dust settles, then we'll have ample time to discuss. But now, if we should be talking about certain things, we can make some people even more angry. And that is what we've been trying to avoid.
It's interesting that you've raised the issue of calm. Do you not think it would bring calm if you recused yourself, stepped aside for this investigation to go on? Would that not bring calm?
Yeah, that is a decision that when we take that decision, we'll get back to you, and then you can inform the general public.
All right, let's look to the future, Mr. Bamba. Right now, these people are agitating on the streets and the military is still there. Do you think that situation should continue, or should there be a decision made about the military, perhaps to let them leave?
I think it will be premature to talk about their stay or their leaving. As I told you earlier on, we've called again for the regional security to assist us with more men on the ground to help the situation. Even if you look at what is happening.
Sorry, is that more police or more military?
No, we will just tell them more security men. So as to the kind of decision they will take, they will get back to us, whether they are bringing police or military men, and then we'll also let you know.
Sorry, who is making the decision?
Pardon me?
Who is going to make the decision?
I've informed the divisional command to contact his bosses at the region.
So the Regional Security Council will decide whether to send more police or more military?
That is not what exactly I said. I said I've informed the divisional command. They know their chain of work. But we work together hand in hand with him.
So you will just take whatever is given you, police or military?
No, if they assess the situation on the ground, and then they think if the police come in, it will help, that one they know better. If the military come in to help, that one they know better. So please,
so you will not be part of that decision? You will not be part of the decision?
Pardon me?
Are you telling us that you will not be part of that decision?
No, the security men on the ground know better than I do.
But you're the chair of MUSEC. You're the chair of the Municipal Security Council. Are you not?
I can hear you, Mr. Yankson.
Mr. Bamba, I'm saying you are the chair of the Municipal Security Council.
Exactly.
Yes, so do you have a contribution to that decision or not?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. If they assess the situation on the ground and they deem it fit that this is the type of security we want, and then they communicate to us, we cannot decide otherwise.
So you, like I said, you will not
now, if they say they are bringing military, and they will say, no, don't bring military, and then probably they bring police or any other security agency, and then they couldn't help restore the situation on the ground. You see, what everybody will say is, we are bringing military, and then the MUSEC chairman said, no, we shouldn't bring military. That is why we've been confronted with this type of problem. So I think some of these issues, we leave the security professionals to decide and also advise. So
as chair of MUSEC, do you think the police can handle this matter in your municipality or not?
That is exactly what I'm saying. The security professionals will decide, and then they will get back to us.
Well, as the chair of MUSEC, you are one of those security...
I'm a politician.
Personalities.
And I happen to be a chair of MUSEC. That doesn't mean I know so much about security work. The security professionals, that is why they are always available to advise as to what to do in what kind of situation. Now, this is the situation that we've been confronted with. I think the best thing to do at this material moment is to allow the security agencies to give us advice.
So what advice are they giving you?
Some of the advice are the ones that we discussed earlier.
Actually, you haven't told me what they've advised you at all. So we don't know whether you're going to get more police or military.
Yesterday, and I told you today again, they are calling for reinforcement to come and assess the situation on the ground. I told you this earlier on.
But you don't know whether it will be police or military. They haven't told
Exactly.
That. They haven't told you that.
Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Bamba, thank you for your time. I know that we will stay in touch and continue to update each other on this matter. Thank you very much. That is Mr. Salisu Bamba. He's the Municipal Chief Executive for Ejura Sechere Dumase. This is where Ejura, the capital town, is currently under siege from teams of youth who are protesting the killing of a young individual known as Mohammed Ibrahim, also known as Kaka, who was killed on Saturday. As we continue to bring you more and more information on this matter, let us quickly remind ourselves of what was said by the chief of the area when he spoke to Erastus Asare Donko earlier today.
Two dead, 6 people on admission. More people are being brought in here. But I'm going to speak with the Konti Hene of Ejura. He was at the scene where the people were shot. He has been looking at the blood scenes and the people who have been injured. Let me find out quickly from him. So you have been to the various scenes. What can you tell us at this moment, Nana?
Very chaotic. Very, very. It's most unfortunate. They are trying to avenge the death of one of their own. Now we have multiple injuries and deaths. Just from the hospital, I witnessed 2 people dead and about 6, 8 or 9 people seriously injured.
How do you feel at the moment?
Very, very sad. Very, very sad. I'm on my way to the palace. You know, Ejura Bermo Sehwidia is also in a serious meeting with the powers that be so that we can find lasting solution to this problem. Once is there, I'm going to brief them as to what is on the ground. He's waiting for me and I'm going there right now.
Can you repeat this for me? So you've been to the hospital. Let me know exactly. There are many conflicting accounts of how many people are dead. How many people can you confirm dead at the moment?
My brother, from the medical superintendent, 2 people are dead. I saw 6 people injured, but as I was leaving, Motokin also brought about 3 people also injured. So we have about 9 people seriously injured now. But
what is the nature of their injuries?
I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't comment, but to them, it's very fatal. Fatal. You know, live bullet is dangerous.
Was this what Nananum were expecting today?
Not at all. Not at all, because from yesterday, we've been fighting this thing not to happen. You know, the moment we heard that the guy, Kaka, was dead, we realized there wasn't going to be peace. So we started talking to the various factions. And from yesterday, around 2 p.m., we've been talking, calming them down. It is not easy, but we've tried our best. Now, this morning, Ejura Hene has spoken with a sizable number of the people, including the Zongo chief and most of the elders. And they assured us that calm was going to remain. But we don't know what happened. All of a sudden, we heard that there was confrontation between the youth and then the peacemakers. And I had to rush to the scene. I went there and full of blood. So I had to follow up to the hospital, and lo and behold, 2 dead, about 6 or 8 or 9 people also injured. I'm very sad.
Who brought the military in?
Obviously, it is music. Music, because of the escalation of the problem yesterday, they had to bring in the military to support. They came for peace, not to fight anybody. They came for peace. But
are you surprised that they fired into the crowd?
I'm very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. As I was heading towards the scene, I saw the police, the buffalo, the water cannon, spreading water. So I thought that was enough to scare them, to get them off. But just as I went past them, most of the people came running towards me. And they told me that about 4 people had been shot. So I said, then let me go with you to see what is happening there. Lo and behold, went there and full of blood. So I had to follow up to this place, and that is why I'm here.
What is going to happen next? What are Nananum going to do?
I have requested the various leaders, youth leaders, the Zongo chiefs and other leaders to meet me at the palace. Ejura Hene is waiting for them. He will finish with the meeting with the powers that be soon, and then we also go into the dialogue with them. We have to dialogue with the youth and those people too. And then certainly Ejura Hene is going back to Accra today to see how best he can get the government to support us, get peace immediately.
What would you say to the people at this moment to maintain peace?
I'm appealing to my brothers, to all Ejura citizens, to calm down. We are not in a war. We just want justice for our brother who died. But out of that, we are escalating things, and it is turning into a horrific thing. So I will tell them to calm down. We don't want to fight the military. We don't want to fight the security agencies. We want justice for the dead, and that is what we are seeking for. So government should come to our aid and support us. Find justice in Ejura.
We are grateful.
Thank you so much.
So that is the Konte Hene of Ejura, and he's been speaking to us after visiting the injured at the hospital. Well, currently we have quite a sizable number of people here because many of them are trying to find out the condition and status of their people. I understand they are bringing in more people who have gunshot wounds.
Yeah, that happened earlier. Erastus Asare Donkor speaking to the Konte Hene of the Ejura traditional area. Now, as this matter unfolds, protests in Ejura leading to the shooting to death of 2 more people. We can now cross over to Parliament, where my colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo has been speaking to Ernest Nogbe, who happens to be a member of the Security Committee in Parliament. Joseph, what have you been learning?
Kojo, let's hear his reactions from himself. Ernest Nogbe is a member of Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee. Honourable, thanks very much for joining us. So the development in Ejura, 2 people dead today, 4 others injured, even after the killing of the Fix the Country convener, as we saw unfold yesterday. Your reaction?
Well, thank you very much. It's just unfortunate that this incident has happened. And then I want to state categorically that this is the resultant effect of, party vigilantes who are recruited into the the army and then the police service, because when you look at this, people who are demonstrating with civilians demonstrating peacefully to fix the country, and you have an armed military man or a police officer shooting live bullets at them. It's just unfortunate incidents. And I'm blaming this on the resultant effect of recruiting, party full soldiers into the army. No professionalism, nothing for that matter. And so it's a shocking news to me that a crowd demonstrating, you have military men or even police officers, shooting live bullets at them, killing two, killing one on the spot, or then another dead. It's just unfortunate incident.
You think that they acted unprofessionally? Is that why you are driving at by insisting that firing on an armed demonstrator shouldn't have happened?
Exactly so. If you investigate further, you realize that these are, private soldiers, constables who are doing this. Because if you have a professional military person who has been trained, gone through the rudiment, gone through the professional enlistment into the service, you realize that such a person may not act with this kind of maximum force to deter crowd. No, that is not taught. It is never taught, at their training centers. And so if at this point in time you see military men shooting live bullets at crowd and armed, then you have to know that these are unprofessional officers who are there trying to make sure that they bring the service into disrepute.
So that we saw this happen during the election. Parliament had indicated they would probe this, but they've not dealt with it fully. This has happened again in terms of another killing, allegedly by security agencies in this particular instance. Is there anything Parliament as an institution should be doing about some of these killings, particularly this latest one that has happened?
We as the Committee of Defense and Interior, I know my chairman will never countenance an incident of this nature. And so we're going to hold before the committee the Minister for Defense and the Minister for Interior to come and answer certain questions, because it's becoming one too many that at a point in time you realize that police or even military men are becoming unprofessional by utilizing the arm that was given to them to defend the civilians. And so they have to come and answer questions to that effect. It's becoming one too many in this regard.
Many thanks for joining us. Ernest Nogbe is a member of Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee with that reaction there. Well, Parliament hasn't begun sitting on the floor itself. That's supposed to begin around 2 o'clock. We're waiting to see whether some of these issues will come up eventually when the House begins sitting, because we've seen the statement coming from the Member of Parliament in that particular area expressing concern about the killing there. Kojo.
Thank you so much. Joseph Opoku-Gakpo is our parliamentary correspondent. So here is what is happening in Ghana this afternoon. Following the killing of a Fix the Country activist in Ejura, in the northernmost part of the Ashanti region, youth have been on protest for about 24 hours. These youth have clashed with security services, including the military, and this has resulted in the shooting to death of 2 members of that community. The information keeps pouring in. Our man Erastus Sasaridonko is on the ground and will continue to give us more and more information as it comes up. Stay with us. We're going to take a very short break. When we return, even more right here on the Joy News channel, and of course, to those of you who are joining us live on Joy 99.7 FM. Don't go far.